Hello, everyone. My name is Ben Brozick, and I will be bringing you Union City Softball this spring for the 2026 season. I am coming from the other side of the county after teaching all day, so sometimes I will be a little late. I do apologize for that. I will try to be here as quickly as possible. We are now in the bottom of the first, and Zielinski got walked for the first batter. And her sister Zielinski is up to the plate. Union City is down 3-0 after half an inning. Swing and a miss, and that was a mighty big cut. It was a nice high pitch, about chest high. Zero balls and 2 strikes. Laid off the high pitch, trying to get her to chase it. Swing and a miss, strike 3 for the first out of the inning. Next batter up is Cummings. Oh, I apologize. I'm off one batter, Swan. That was Cummings who just struck out. As we have 2 batters on base. Big cut, fouled off to the right side. Swan looks like she knows what she's doing in the batter's box. If the pitcher brings that ball a little lower, there's a really good chance that she's going to be able to get a line drive somewhere. Another foul ball off to the right side. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Hits it hard down the right field line. Near the foul line, it lands fair. And it might only be a single as the runners had to wait and see where the ball would go. That was a nice hit down the line. Bases are loaded with 1 out. So a very long single. As we have a runner on first and second at least with less than 2 outs. Swing and a miss at a high fastball across the letters. And already early in the season, we have a lot of runners on base. That was a called strike, low and inside. Wind up in the pitch. Very high, past the catcher. The runner's coming from third, and she scores. Number 11, Zielinski. The other 2 runners advance. Kent getting signals from the third base coach. The count is 1-2. High chase pitch. It's dropped. Throw to first. They're out. Coming back home, and there's a score. So while she got out swinging at a high fastball that the catcher dropped, they were able to get a runner in to score. And that is Zielinski again. The 2 sisters have made it in. Number 16, Capella is up to bat. Capella, I apologize. High pitch for a ball. Ooh, it's called strike. It was a half swing, but I think it might have hit the strike zone anyway. As that brings the count to 1 ball, 1 strike with 2 outs in the inning. Ooh, very close. Called a ball. 2-1 is the count. And that was awfully close from this angle. High pitch, runner from third's coming home. Play at the plate is late, and we are tied 3-3. The count is 3-1. Chances are Capella's going to be looking for her pitch. Called strike, came across at the knees. We are at a full count. Ball outside. So we have 1 runner on first base. Number 7, Troyer, is coming up to the plate, and we have a pinch runner, number 1, Sipes. For number 16, Capella. They're waiting. I'm not sure what they're waiting on. Okay, she steps back into the box. Troyer. The windup and the pitch. A hard hit between third and shortstop to left field. The left fielder bobbles it. Runner from first is going to third, sliding in, safe, and it is a stand-up double for Troyer. Chapman will now be coming up to the plate, catching for today's game. Here's the windup and the pitch. Swing and a miss, and just came under the pitch. The timing was perfect. It was a little bit high. Got to be careful about a pass ball here. Swing and a miss. High again. So 0 balls and 2 strikes at the moment, with runners on second and third. Fouled off behind the backstop. Yeah, Chapman's timing is on point. She just has to make sure that the ball is a little bit lower. She likes to chase the high ones, apparently, as I did when I was a kid as well. Hard hit down first base, foul. And Chapman is showing some grit in the batter's box, staying alive, fouling the ball off. "0-2's the count. Here's the windup and the pitch. In the dirt. Stopped by the catcher. So the runners are not able to advance. 1-2 count. Wind up in the pitch. Pass ball. Runner from third's coming home. It's going to be a close play. Nope. Did not get the ball. She scores uncontested. So we are now 4-3. Union City is in the lead. This is a very productive at bat for Chapman. Even if she doesn't get a hit, she's wearing down the pitcher, and the more throws you can get the pitcher to make, the better for later in the game. A foul tipped, caught by the catcher, and that is out to end the inning. A swinging K. And we are now down to the bottom of the first, and we will get a message from our sponsors. Support for Union City play-by-play coverage on the Union City Today sports stream is provided in part by the Corry Federal Credit Union, your hometown credit union, wishing the Bears the best of luck this season. The Corry Federal Credit Union has been serving the community since 1958. They offer a wide range of financial services for you and your business. The Corry Federal Credit Union is located at 728 Worth Street in Corry, 56 North Street, Union City, 315 Main Street in Spartansburg, and online at corryfcu.org. Union City Today Sports thanks the Corry Federal Credit Union, your hometown credit union, for the support of the Union City Bears play-by-play. CFCU is a not-for-profit organization. Also brought to you by coverage of the Union City Bears baseball and softball on the Union City Today Corry Federal Credit Union Sports Stream is brought to you by Rosco's Collision, providing computerized estimates along with collision repair and painting, and by Rosco's Vinyl Graphics and Printing Services, offering banners, signage, custom apparel, and promotional items located on Waterford Street in Union City. Phone 814-438-7238. And we are going to have our first batter at the top of the second. Number 34. And I believe the last name is Christensen. Wind up in the pitch. Chases it very high. You could see that she wanted to hold back on that, but had a hard time doing it. And we have a southpaw on the mound for the Union City Bears. And that gives the batters a slightly different look. Ball a little bit outside and low. Capella, who's pitching today, is a freshman, and she is very tall for a freshman, which is getting a nice velocity on her pitch, and that one was right down the middle for a strike. She does have a little bit of an intimidating windup. Strike three looking. And now coming up is number 26, Forster, who's playing right field. Capella's in the windup, and the pitch very high for ball one. She's taking a minute to collect herself. Several of her pitches that have missed have been high. Strike one right down the middle. Forster takes a big cut. Came under the ball just a little bit. Fouled off back for strike number two. So far, these at-bats have been incredibly competitive. Both teams putting pressure on the pitcher and the fielders in a close 4-3 competition. Little low. Count is 2-2 with one out. Capella misses low and outside, but they are awfully close, trying to get them to chase it. It is a full count with one out. Swing and a miss, strike three. And it seems to me that Forster definitely felt like she had her timing down She just wasn't able to put the bat on the ball. Now we have a lefty versus lefty with Miller up to the plate, playing third base. Capella with windup in the pitch. High and outside for ball one. One up in the pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike one. Just above the belt. Capella definitely has the speed to overwhelm the batters. Ooh, nice hit to right field. Line drive over the second baseman's head. Quickly brought into the cutoff for a solid single. Miller has a nice compact swing, and she was able to poke the bat out and get a single over the second baseman. Now we have number 24, Whitman, up to bat. This is the pitcher for Northeast. Called a low strike. Beautiful pitch. The catcher did a good job framing the corner. Here's the windup in the pitch. Ball high. The count is 1-1 with 2 outs in the inning. Runner on first. Ground ball to the shortstop. Oh, almost had it. There was an error at shortstop. Now you have runners at first and second. She wasn't able to recover in time to tag second base. The ball went right directly to second base. She had to stretch for it. Wasn't able to hold on to it. Now we have Holdsworth playing shortstop for Northeast. Capella with the pitch. It is high. Ball one. Capella with the windup in the pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike one. And Capella has only given up 1 solid hit so far in this inning. Strike two. 1 and 2. That was perfect on the inside corner. And with runners at first and second, they're going to be able to make a play at first, second, or third if this ball is put in play in the infield. The ball is hit to the second baseman. Backspin, throws to first. When the ball landed, it had a little bit of backspin. They were able to grab it and throw it to first for the third out. For a 4-3 out. Support for Union City Bears baseball and softball on the UC Today Corry Federal Credit Union Sports Stream is provided by George Fox Insurance Agency, serving the area since 1975, and home of Union City's favorite signs, located at North Main Street in Union City. Call 814-438-7606. UC Today Sports thanks George Fox Insurance Agency for their support. King's Service Center. Support for Union City Bears coverage comes from King's Service Center. King's Service Center is located at 25167 Weed Road. They offer tires, oil changes, state safety inspections, and more. Phone number 814-694-3472. Goldstar. Support for Union City Bears baseball and softball on the Union City Today Corry Federal Credit Union Sports Stream is provided by Goldstar Chinese Restaurant, offering dine-in and takeout at 31 North Main Street in Union City. More information at goldstarchinesefood.com or by calling 814-438-2688. Union City Today Sports thanks Goldstar Chinese Restaurant for their support. And Tops. Coverage of Union City Bears baseball and softball on Union City Today, Corry Federal Credit Union Sports Stream is brought to you by Tops Friendly Markets of Union City, located at 19 East High Street in Union City. More information at topsmarket.com or 814-438-7614. Union City Today Sports thanks Tops Friendly Markets of Union City for their support. And I believe we are ready to start the bottom of the second inning. Number 2, Williamson is up the plate. She is playing center field today. This will be her first at bat. Swing and a miss. Fouled back to the backstop. And Whitman is still pitching. 0-1 count. It is a strike, but it is dropped. Makes the count 0 balls, 2 strikes. Williamson is moving up in the box, widening out her stance, looking to just put the ball into play. Chases it high for strike 3. Catcher drops it, throws it to first for the first out of the inning. Zielinski is our next batter, playing first base today. Whitman with the windup in the pitch. Low for a strike. What a beautiful pitch. Whitman is very consistent so far today, throwing a lot of strikes. Little outside. 1-1 is the count. One up in the pitch. Strike 2 looking. Zielinski is at a 1-2 count. Whitman seems to have figured out how to keep the ball low instead of some of those high pitches that she was throwing. Oh, it's a high pitch. Hit foul down the left field line. And she got a hold of that one. The count still stays at 1-2. That would have been close to a home run if she could have hit that fair, at least near the fence. In the dimensions here at Union City, the center field, I'm not sure, there's no sign saying how many feet away from home plate it is, but center field and a little bit to right center seem to be a little closer than down the foul lines. The fence seems to be more straight than curved. And she swings and fouls it back to stay alive. And you can tell Whitman is trying to go high to get her to chase a high pitch for a swing and a miss. But right now, Zielinski seems that she's able to handle that high speed, so she might not want to do that. Fouled off again, another high pitch. One thing I've already noticed with Union City is that they're able to keep long at bats. And the more pitches you can get the pitcher to take, the better off you're going to be late in the game. Low pitch, fouled off near the dugout down the first base line and over the dugout. Still a 1-2 count. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 out in the inning at the bottom of the second. Well, that's interesting. Something I've never noticed before as Whitman throws the pitch. A line drive up the middle. Right past the pitcher's ear. The center fielder hits the cutoff. And we have a runner at first base. One thing I haven't seen before, this might be new, is there's a wristband like quarterbacks would wear in a football game. And when the coach calls in a play, and she has that on her glove hand, and apparently they're communicating different strategies to the pitcher when she's on the mound, and then she takes a peek at that wristband. That's pretty clever. I'm curious to exactly what is on that wristband. Here's the one up in the pitch. Swing and a miss. So this is Zielinski's sister up the plate with an 0-1 count. Called it a strike, but a missed pitch by the catcher, and the runner advances to second base. So our count is now at 0-2. Runner on second with one out. And it's hit shallow to center field. It's going to drop in. The runner from second is going to advance to third. And we have Zielinski's on the corners, first and third. Cummings is up to bat. Playing shortstop for Union City today. Here's the one up in the pitch. It is a strike, but dropped, and Zielinski goes to second. So we now have runners on on second and third. 0-1 count. One out. And that helps avoid the infield fly rule. High pitch, fouled off. Over the press box on the third base side. And the count is 0-2. The infield is playing in on the corners, trying to hold the runner from third from scoring if there is a ground ball. High pitch, hit to right field, drops in over the second baseman's head. The runner does score. The runner from second's going home, and both the Zielinski sisters will score on a single to right field. And you could tell it's cold, and that definitely hurt the hands of Cummings, but she got the runners in. And those types of hits in this cold weather always seem to hurt a little bit less when you're able to get a couple runs in. Next at bat is number 23, Swan, playing third base. Low strike. Runner on first advances, so Cummings to second. Swan steps back in. Here's the one up in the pitch. Hard line drive down third base, foul, and they would have been running for days if that would have landed fair. And her hands are hurting also. And that's the kind of game you have to play when you live up here in Erie County. And the cold weather definitely hurts the hands if you don't hit it solid. But she definitely has a lot of power. That ball was smoked down the third base line. About 6 feet foul. High pitch for a ball. And the count goes to 1-2. With one runner on second. Ball. 2-2 count. And right now Union City is in the lead, 6-3. Here's the one up in the pitch, fouled off. Back to the backstop. I will say this, the Union City Bears are doing a great job at staying in and getting long at bats. And the more pitches you can see, it always seems to benefit the batter. One up in the pitch, high over the catcher's head, and Cummings will move on to third base. So if Swan can put the ball into play, especially to the right side of the field, we probably have an RBI here. The count is 2-2, runner on third. Here's the windup and the pitch. Hard hit to left field. It's very high, can of corn. Runner at third tags up and scores. A sacrifice fly to left field from Swan. Okay, Kent is up to bat, number 15, playing left field. It is 7-3 in the bottom of the second. Wind up in the pitch. Hard hit to right field. Line drive. Dropped by the right fielder. It hit her right in the glove, and she was not able to hold on to it for a long single. Our next at bat will be Capella. So Union City is up 7-3. Runner on first base. 2 outs. And it looks like they're making a runner change at first. I'm not sure who that is, as she's wearing a sweatshirt. So I'm not sure what the number is. And typically in these cold weather games, wearing a sweatshirt when you run the bases is acceptable. Okay, waiting for the umpire to fill out his scorecard. Capella steps in. Here's the windup and the pitch. Swing and a miss. Ball was right down the middle, and she made a huge cut. Whitman with the windup and the pitch. In the dirt, ball, and the runner at first advances to second as the catcher drops the ball. Whitman with the windup in the pitch. Strike, inside strike. Made Capella jump out of the box a little bit. Might have had a little spin on it for a slider or a curve. Painted the inside corner perfectly. 1-2 the count. Outside for ball 2. It is a 2-2 count with 2 outs, and a runner advances to third base. One up in the pitch, swing and a miss, strike 3 to end the inning. The score is 7-3 after 2 solid innings. Okay, thank you, everybody. I had to step away for a second. We're at the top of the third inning. And number 16, Wilkinson, is up to the plate. Capella is still pitching. At the top of the third. Wind up in the pitch. Strike on the low outside corner. The catcher framed that beautifully. I'm very impressed with Union City's catcher. She's been framing these quite nicely. Swing and a miss, fouled off the tip of the bat. Strike two. The count is 0-2 with no outs. The score is 7-3. Union City in the lead. And as someone who's done my share of umpiring over the years, a catcher framing the outside corners, you'd be amazed at how many times the ball might be just an inch outside and you get that call. Strike. 3. Looking. Beautiful low outside pitch. The next batter, number 11, Forsyth. Wind up in the pitch. Low for a strike. And those low strikes down the middle are getting the call from the umpire. So I think you're going to see a lot of pitches by Capella in that area. This one in the dirt for a ball. 1-1 count with one out. Fouled off back again for strike two. 1 ball, 2 strikes. It seems to me that Capella is only getting stronger as she's pitching. Ball low and in the dirt, and she's definitely trying to get that low strike that the umpire's been giving. Here's the windup and the pitch. Ground ball back up the middle. The shortstop not able to get there. It is a single to center field and quickly thrown in to the second baseman for a single. So we have 1 out, 1 on. Lutz is up to bat. Playing left field. Here's the windup and the pitch. Swing and hit down the right field line. It might be fair. Oh, it goes foul, hitting off the second baseman's glove, but in foul territory. So just a long strike. Oh, and 1 is the count. Here's the one up in the pitch. Right down the middle for a strike. So we're now at an 0-2 count with 1 out. 7-3 in the top of the third. Here's the one up in the pitch. Strike, a little high, about belt high, and that is a strike looking. So she has 2 strikeouts where the batters are looking this inning. And you know you're in your groove when you're able to strike batters out without them swinging the bat. And to be able to find that groove this early in the season is pretty good. Wound up in the pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 1. Collins is up to the plate. Number 9, the catcher. Here we go. Wound up in the pitch. Ball hit to right field. Second baseman makes a nice catch backing up just in the shallow outfield grass. Okay, now a word from our sponsors. Coverage of Union City Bears baseball and softball on the Union City Today Corry Federal Credit Union Sports Stream is brought to you by Terri's Tax and Notary. Starting a new business or need help managing the one you have? Terri's Tax and Notary has you covered. With over 40 years of experience, they handle income tax preparation to payroll, bookkeeping, and business setup. Kelly Design can help you get your business online fast. Union City Today Sports thanks Terri's Tax and Notary for their support. And coverage of Union City Bears baseball on the Union City Today Corry Federal Credit Union Sports Stream is made possible by Rancho Alegre Authentic Mexican Restaurant. Serving authentic Mexican cuisine, Rancho Alegre is open Tuesday through Sunday, located at 16328 State Highway 8 in Union City. More information at ranchograypa.com or by calling 814-438-6043. Union City Today Sports thanks Rancho Alegre Authentic Mexican Restaurant for their support. And finally, support of the Union City play-by-play coverage of the Union City Today Sports Stream is provided in part by the Corry Federal Credit Union, your hometown credit union. Wishing the Bears the best of luck this season. The Corry Federal Credit Union has been serving the community since 1958. They offer a wide range of financial services for you and your business. The Corry Federal Credit Union is located at 728 Worth Street in Corry, 56 North Street in Union City, and 315 Main Street in Spartansburg, and online at corryfcu.org. Union City Today Sports thanks the Corry Federal Credit Union, your hometown credit union, for their support of Union City Bears play-by-play. Corry Federal Credit Union is a not-for-profit organization. And we are going to start the bottom of the third with the Union City Bears up 7 over Northeast with 3 runs. And we will have number 7 up to the plate. Kent. Oh, I apologize. Yep, Kent. Oh, yep, number 7. Or I'm sorry, Troyer. I apologize. Ball low. For ball 1. As she digs in. Here's the pitch. Fouled off between her legs and went back towards the first base side. Count goes to 1-1. Whitman with the windup in the pitch. Nice off-speed pitch inside corner. Froze her for a count of 1-2. That was a perfect off-speed pitch. Looked like a curveball. Ooh, pitch was high. Drilled to center field. Going back. Off the fence. Just over the center fielder's glove. As she goes into second base with a standing double. What a beautiful hit. And we almost had our first home run of the season. Now we have number 3 coming up to bat, Chapman. Zero outs. Here's the one up in the pitch. She goes to bunt, pulls back, high pitch, ball 1. One up in the pitch. Tries to bunt it. Fouls it over the catcher's head to the backstop. The count goes to 1-1. Okay.
It's the first game I care about.
All right, and a bunt back to the pitcher, and she'll throw on to first, and it is an error on the throw, and the runner scores from second. As Chapman moves all the way to third, and she's going to try to go for home on a late pitch. The ball is caught, and she is out at home. Wow, that was an exciting bunt for sure. So that is our first out. And now we have number 2, Williamson, playing center field. And the score has gone up to 8-3. Pitch right down the middle, popped up. The catcher looks like she's going to be able to make a play, and it lands for a single. And that's a very tricky pop-up to catch when you're the catcher, because that ball could be spinning all sorts of different directions, which makes it fade in a direction maybe you're not anticipating. Anybody who's ever caught knows that that can be incredibly tricky. Now we have Zielinski back up to the plate, playing first base. Wind up in the pitch. Strike right down the middle, but a pass ball by the catcher. And Williamson is able to move to second. Williamson in scoring position. Here's the windup in the pitch. Ball is hit high down the first base line and dropped. I think she lost it in the sun. The sun is hitting the first baseman perfectly to get in the way of that pop-up. So we are now at an 0-2 count with one out. 8-3 in the third. Okay. It seems that we have the potential to get a 10-run rule, which is after 5 innings. If one team is up by 10, the game is called. High pitch, hit down to third base. Good throw to first for the out, and the runner advances to third base. Now Zielinski's sister is up to the plate. Playing second base today. And the pitch. And the ball is hit to center field. Is it going to drop in between? Yes, it is. It's going to drop between the shortstop and the center fielder for a single and another run. So they now have 9-3, 2 outs in the bottom of the third inning. Union City is putting on a hitting clinic today. Here's the windup and the pitch. Low pitch, ball. And the first base runner goes on to second base. And this is Zielinski has a chance for an RBI with a runner in scoring position. Low pitch for ball 2. Wind up in the pitch. Pop up to shortstop and second base. They're calling for it, and it drops as they lacked communication to get to it. And the run scores. We are now at 10-3 with 2 outs. And a runner on first. That does count as a hit, as no one actually touched the ball as it came to the ground. You have to make physical contact with the ball for it to be an error if you're ruling it strictly. A line drive to right center field. It's going to make it to the fence. Zielinski's going to score at home, and we're going to stop at second. Cummings with a double. And she has hit that ball incredibly hard today. And that scores yet another run. That is 11-3. Swan is up to bat. Has a single and a fly out so far today. Wound up in the pitch. High for ball one. Whitman throws the pitch. Drilled to center field. Over the center fielder's head. That one's going to make it to the fence. We have at least a double here. And she's going to hold up at second base as the ball gets thrown into the cutoff man. And yet another score. So we are at 12-3. And if things keep the way that they're going, we are going to get a 10-run rule by the end of the fifth. Although they are coming out to talk to the pitcher, which will give us a chance to hear a word from our sponsor. Coverage of Union City Bears baseball and softball on the U.S. Union City Today Corry Federal Credit Union Sports Stream is brought to you by C.S. Warthman Funeral Home, serving the community for over 100 years, providing compassionate and affordable end-of-life services. Located at 69 North Main Street in Union City. For information, call 814-438-3811. Union City Today Sports thanks C.S. Warthman Funeral Home for their support. Okay, and we are back to the game. And we have number 16 up to the plate, Capella, who's pitching a fine game today. And that is a strike. Runner on second base. Bottom of the third. Wound up in the pitch. Ball one. 1-1 the count. Here's the pitch. Past the catcher for ball number 2. And the runner does advance to third base. Ooh, high pitch. He chased and fouls off to the right side. The count goes to 2-2. There are 2 outs, runner on third. She's definitely going to want to help herself and her cause for getting a win as a pitcher. And it's a low pitch, hit to right field. Fading away from the right fielder. It drops. She gets a single and scores yet another run to help her cause. Union City coach is talking to the umpire. They're giving a pinch runner as Sipes comes out to run the bases. Number 7, Kent, is up to the plate. And the ball is hit. Popped up to shortstop. She makes the catch for the final out. So after 3, it is 13-3. Union City Bears are beating Northeast by 10 as we go into the top of the 4th inning. Now a word from our sponsor. Support for Union City Bears baseball and softball and Union City Today Corry Federal Credit Union Sports Stream is provided by Union City Pet Hospital, located at 2 South Main Street in Union City. More information at unioncityveterinarian.com or by calling 814-438-7876. Union City Today Sports thanks Union City Pet Hospital for their support. Coverage is also brought to you by Brown's Fitness. Coverage of Union City Bears baseball and softball on Union City Today Corry Federal Credit Union Sports Stream is made possible by Brown's Fitness Center. With 24/7 access, owner Seth Brown is a NASM certified personal trainer located at 1 South Main Street in Union City. Call 814-795-7743 for more information. Union City Today Sports Talk thanks Brown's Fitness Center for their support. And Hitchy's. Support for Union City Bears baseball and softball and Union City Today Corry Federal Credit Union Sports Stream is provided by Hitchy's Townhouse Tavern, now open at 21 North Main Street in Union City, serving food and daily specials for dine-in or take-out. Union City Today Sports thanks Hitchy's Townhouse Tavern for their support. And now we are back at the top of the fourth with a 13-3 score and no outs. Christensen up to bat. Here's the one up in the pitch. Strike right down the middle. As she takes strike one. Capella is really finding her groove at the moment. Hard hit to second base, caught. Nice hard line drive by Christensen. Forster is up to the plate. Number 26, playing right field. Capella ready for the windup in the pitch. Low pitch in the dirt. She noticed really early in this game that the umpire was giving the low strike, and she has been working that for several innings now. Strike called at the knees to a 1-1 count. High pitch, swing and a miss for strike number 2. We go to a 1-2 count. 13-3 in the fourth inning. Foul ball. Forster stays alive. Count stays at 1-2. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 3 on the high fastball. And some coaches call that climbing the ladder, where you go low with some off-speed pitches, and as you go higher in the strike zone throughout the at-bat, you throw it a little bit harder and a little bit harder to get them to chase the high fastball, thinking it might break down at the knees. So we are now at 2 outs in the top of the fourth. Lefty versus lefty. Miller is up at the plate. She takes ball 1. Capella with the pitch. Called a ball. We are now 2 balls, 0 strikes with 2 outs. And it's always harder to pitch against somebody who's batting the same hand as you're throwing. And the ball's hit to left field. What a beautiful hit. And caught by the left fielder. It was a great hit, but she turned it into a can of corn. To left field. And we will be going into the bottom half of the fourth inning. Now another message from our sponsors. Support for Union City Bears baseball and softball and the Union City Today Corry Federal Credit Union Sports Stream is provided by Dai Salon, located at 28 South Main Street in Union City. Dai Salon specializes in hair cutting with color and highlighting, along with perms, texture services, and updos. They also offer manicures, pedicures, and waxing services. For information, call 814-738-6225. And from our sponsor, Corry Federal Credit Union. Support for Union City play-by-play coverage on the Union City Today Sports Stream is provided in part by the Corry Federal Credit Union, your hometown credit union, wishing the Bears the best of luck this season. The Corry Federal Credit Union has been serving the community since 1958. They offer a wide range of financial services for you or your business. The Corry Federal Credit Union is located at 728 Worth Street in Corry, 56 North Main Street, Union City, and 315 Main Street in Spartansburg, and online at corryfederalcreditunion.org. Union City Today Sports thanks the Corry Federal Credit Union, your hometown credit union, for their support of Union City Bears play-by-play. CFCU is a not-for-profit organization. And support for the Union City Bears sports coverage comes from King's Service Center. King's Service Center is located at 25167 Weed Road. They offer tires, oil changes, state safety inspections, and more. Phone number 814-694-3472. And Goldstar. Support for Union City Bears baseball and softball on the Union City Today Corry Federal Credit Union Sports Stream is provided by Goldstar Chinese Restaurant, offering dine-in and take-out at 31 North Main Street in Union City. More information at goldstarchinesefood.com or by calling 814-438-2688. Union City Today Sports thanks Goldstar Chinese Restaurant for their support. And it looks to me that we are warming up a new pitcher. And that might be, let me see, who do we have? Alyssa Holdsworth, number 0. And that might give us a time for another word from our sponsor. From Tops, coverage of the Union City Bears baseball and softball on the Union City Today Corry Federal Credit Union Sports Stream is brought to you by the Tops Friendly Market of Union City, located at 19 East High Street in Union City. More information at topsmarkets.com or 814-438-7614. Union City Today Sports thanks Tops Friendly Markets of Union City for their support. And coverage of the Union City Bears baseball and softball in Union City Today Corry Federal Credit Union Sports Stream is brought to you by Rosco's Collision, providing computerized estimates along with collision repair and painting, and by Rosco's Vinyl Graphics and Printing Services, offering banners, signage, custom apparel, and promotion items located on Waterford Street in Union City. Phone 814-438-7238. All right. Looks like we are about ready to start the bottom half of the 4th inning. And Zielinski will start us off at the top of the order. Oh, I'm sorry. It's Chapman's up. I apologize. Thank you very much. It is Chapman up to the plate. Wind up and the pitch. Strike. She took the pitch. Here's the wind up and the pitch from Holdsworth. High pitch, fouled off down the right field side into the crowd. As the count goes to 1-1. You always got to be careful when you're a fan at a baseball game. That ball can come fast into foul territory. All right, the umpire calls time, goes over to Northeast dugout to talk to them. Okay. Not sure what the conversation was, but wind up in the pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 2. One ball and 2 strikes. Chapman fouls it off. Ground ball down the first base side. Count stays at 1-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 13-3 in the bottom of the fourth. No outs. Holdsworth gets fouled off again by Chapman. So now we've seen 2 pitchers from Northeast, and Union City has done a great job going deep in the count, getting a lot of foul balls. Ball hit over the third baseman's head. Shortstop has the ball, but no throw. As by the time she got to it, Chapman made it down to first base. Now Williamson is up to the plate. And number 5, Capella, is coming out to be a courtesy runner. So Chapman can put on her catching equipment. Williamson gets the sign from third base, steps in the batter's box. And the pitch. Ground ball down third base, foul. Turns it into an 0-1 count. Here's the pitch. Hard line drive to center field. It's going to drop in front of the center fielder. Knocked down, throw into second base. And we have 2 ducks on the pond at first and second. And now we have Zielinski up to the plate. Kimberly Zielinski, number 11. Playing first base. Holdsworth with the pitch, and the ball is fouled off. 4 strike 1. Here's the pitch. A nice changeup for a strike number 2. Looked like a nice little curveball. And the ball is hit to the shortstop. It popped up and dropped. And I think there's some little confusion running the bases. It's a fair ball. Only 1 runner on, so the infield fly rule was not in effect. They made a play back to first as if it was a forced out, but they needed to make the tag, and I don't believe they made the tag. Oh, maybe it was a force out, but I'm really not sure. I'll be perfectly honest with you guys. It was a pop-up. We had a runner at first. It landed in the infield. You have to have 2 on with 1 or less outs for it to be an infield fly rule, so I'm not sure. But the ball is hit to shortstop. Throw to first, and made the out. Okay, so Zielinski grounded out. And let me see if I can find an answer to what just happened. I'll be back in 1 second. Okay. I am not sure what happened in that play, so we're just going to have to live with it. It is 13-3 going into the top of the 5th inning. And we are going to hear a few more messages from our sponsors. George Fox Insurance. Support for Union City Bears baseball and softball in Union City today. Corry Federal Credit Union Sports Stream is provided by George Fox Insurance Agency, serving the area since 1975 and home of Union City's favorite signs. Located at North Main Street in Union City. Call 814-438-7606. Union City Today Sports thanks George Fox Insurance Agency for their support. and Terri's Tax and Notary. Coverage of Union City Bears baseball and softball on Union City Today Corry Federal Credit Union Sports Stream is brought to you by Terri's Tax and Notary. Starting a new business or need help managing the one you have? Terri's Tax and Notary has you covered. With over 40 years of experience, they handle income tax preparation to payroll, bookkeeping, and business setup. Kelly Design can help you get your business online fast. Union City Today Sports thanks Terri's Tax and Notary for their support. All right, and it's a high pitch at the top of the fifth inning, 13-3. And number 24, Whitman, is at the plate. Another high ball. Count goes to 2-0. Fouled back to the backstop, and the count goes to 2-1. Capella has been pitching a gem since the first inning, which is understandable in this cold weather. But once she found her groove, she seems to be really in the zone at this moment. Base dugout. Count goes to 2-2. Capella with a 2-2 pitch. Ground ball between third base and shortstop to left field. It is a clean single. Holdsworth is up to the plate, playing shortstop. And right now, they're going to want to get at least one run so they can avoid the 10-run rule. Pitch high, ball. Count goes to 1-0. Ball hit to the pitcher. It drops. No one can make a play on it, as it was just a perfectly placed hit between the pitcher, the second baseman, and the first baseman for a single. So we now have two ducks on the pond for Northeast, as Wilkinson steps up to the plate. Number 16 playing first base. Struck out looking last at bat. The ball is fouled back over the first base dugout. Capella with the pitch. Ball gets past the catcher. Both the base runners are going to move up a base, so we now have someone on second and third base with no outs, and the count goes to 1-1. Northeast is in a good position here to keep from being 10-runned. Ball gets past the catcher. No one is coming home, as she was able to get to the ball pretty quick. 2 balls, 1 strike. Here's the pitch. Ground ball back to the pitcher. Holds the runner at third. Throws to first. It is a bad pitch, and it will be out of play. So that will score at least 1 run. Let's see where the other runner was. Okay. So runners are at second and third, and the runner from third scores as the ball went out of play. Number 11, Forsyth, playing center field, is up to the plate. Good pitch right down the middle for a called strike. The score is now 13-4. Forsyth takes a ball in the dirt. The count goes to 1-1. Ground ball hit to second base. 4 and out, but they are going to get another run. 4-3 ground out. The runner on second advances to third. And the score is now 13-5 in the top of the fifth. Ball low in the dirt to Lutz, who is playing left field. Ground ball back to the pitcher, gets past her. Shortstop picks it up, makes a nice throw to first for yet another out. 6-3 ground out. And it looks like we have a pinch hitter. 1 for 9, and that will be Malin Sipes. Waiting for the umpire to check his scorecard and make the adjustment. There are 2 outs, but Union City could easily score a few runs in the bottom half of the fifth and still get a 10-run victory. Although I bet if you ask the players, they probably want to play the rest of the game. Strike to Sipes on the first pitch, right down the middle. Foul ball. 0-2 the count. Here's the pitch in the dirt, trying to get Sipes to chase. She does not. The count goes to 1 ball and 2 strikes. Swing and a miss, strike 3. And we will be heading into the bottom of the fifth. All right, now a message from our sponsors. Coverage for Union City Bears baseball on Union City Today, Corry Federal Credit Union Sports Stream is made possible by Rancho Alegre, authentic Mexican restaurant serving authentic Mexican cuisine. Rancho Alegre is open Tuesday through Sunday, located at 16328 State Highway 8 in Union City. More information at ranchoalegrapa.com or by calling 814-438-6043. Union City Today Sports thanks Rancho Alegre Authentic Mexican Restaurant for their support. And Browns Fitness. Coverage of Union City Bears baseball and softball on Union City Today, Corry Federal Credit Union Sports Stream is made possible by Browns Fitness Center. With 24/7 access, owner Seth Brown is a NASM certified personal trainer located at 1 South Main Street in Union City. Call 814-795-7743 for more information. Union City Today Sports thanks Browns Fitness Center for their support. All right. And we are going into the bottom of the fifth, 13-6. Ball hit down to third base. Throw on to first. Safe. And that was number 22, Hines, with the single, beating it out. Swan is up to the plate, number 23. Ground ball to second base. Not sure where she wanted to go with it, and there's an error at first. So we now will have a runner at first, and the runner at second advances to third after the error. So runners on the corners with no outs in the bottom of the fifth. Sipes comes up to the plate. Ground ball down third on a very low pitch for strike one as it rolls foul. And it looks like they're trying to get some players that were sitting on the bench to come in and get some practice here early in the season. High pitch past the catcher. The first base runner is going to advance to second. The third base runner stayed at third. So we now have a runner on second and third. 1-1 count. Ball high. Holdsworth is doing a really good job throwing strikes. She has a really good curveball. But these Union City Bears have been hitting the ball quite well. There's another foul ball back to the backstop. And they have had both pitchers earn their keep today, fouling off a lot of pitches, going deep into a lot of these counts. Especially as the weather gets colder and you get more tired, that is an advantage to the batter. And that was a nice breaking ball. Full count. Ball fouled back to keep her alive. Here's the windup and the pitch. Ball in the dirt. 4-4. We now have bases loaded with no outs. This could be a great situation, or it could lead to a double play pretty easily. Number 16, Capella, who's pitched a great game today, steps up to the plate. And I'm sure she would like to help herself out again by getting these 3 runs in. Swing and a miss past the catcher. The runner from third is coming in, standing up to score. As Capella takes ball one. Or I'm sorry, strike one. Ball hit hard to right field, high in the sky, in the sun, and the right fielder is able to make the catch. The runner at third tags up and scores. Swan now makes it as she crosses the plate, 15-6. Number 7, Troyer, up to the plate, playing right field. Swing and a miss past the catcher. This might score another run, and it does. It is now 16-6. And that is the game, ladies and gentlemen, as they get a 10-run rule. And they're going to line up and shake hands. And this was quite the game. And really, if you look at the different elements of the game, the defense for Union City was on point. The pitching was fantastic after the first inning, giving up 3 runs. They settled down, and Capella was able to get to the end of the game, and a lot of solid hits, a lot of line drives, and going deep into the count with a lot of foul balls. So Union City has done a great job for their first home game. 10-run rule win. And we will hear a few more messages from our sponsors. Support for Union City Bears baseball and softball on the Union City Today Corry Federal Credit Union Sports Stream is provided by Hitchy's Townhouse Tavern, now open at 21 North Main Street in Union City, serving food and daily specials for dine-in or take-out. Union City Today Sports thanks Hitchy's Townhouse Tavern for their support. And a message from Dai Salon. Support for Union City Bears baseball and softball on the Union City Today Corry Federal Credit Union Sports Stream is provided by Dai Salon, located on 28 South Main Street in Union City. Dai Salon specializes in hair cutting with color and highlighting, along with perms, texture services, and updos. They also offer manicures, pedicures, and waxing services. For information, call 814-738-6225. And this was a great way to start the season. As we end with a 16-6 score in the bottom of the 5th with the 10-run rule. Thanks everyone for listening. And let's see, when is our next game going to be? At home.
Pitched a really outstanding game to start the season off for the Lady Bears, and I'm going to follow up with an honorable mention to number 23.
Our next game is scheduled at home.
She's just fun to watch. The way she gets a hold of that ball and just rips it out there. She's caused some damage today, and it really got going when she started to rip them out of here.
April 7th against Lakeview. However, we did have a game canceled due to weather earlier, and I believe that game might be made up on Thursday. So if you could come see us on Thursday, we might have a game to broadcast for you. And I really appreciate it. Thank you for my first game. And once again, I might be coming late to these games as I'm getting off work from the other side of the county over in East Springfield. I do apologize for that. I will try to set up as quickly as I can, and I will try to catch you up to speed on what's happening in the game as quickly as I can. So this is Ben Brozick, and I will be signing off. See you on Thursday.